Blockbuster Daigle. How you doing, Daigle? I mean, a stupid question, mate. Just talk to me.
Well, first of all, good evening to you guys. Good evening to everyone in the chat. I think it's time that us collectively as Spurs fans have a reality check. We need to step back and go, do you know what? All these, when the players are back, things will be different. These players are this good. They can do this. They can do that. They're sixth in the Dutch league. We can do it. We can beat them. Like I said, when I came on against Leicester, and everyone was going on about Leicester's injuries and how poor they are, and we can beat Leicester. Well, we couldn't. And then we said, yeah, all our players are injured. The players aren't good enough. Those players that have let this team down, that have let us down all season, have got this cup to play for to salvage anything. And they went out there like they were doing us a favour.
Yeah.
They went out there. There was no professional pride. There was no desire. There was no hunger. There was no determination. That looked like they were having an exhibition game in pre-season, and we could just stroll around the park because we're the mighty Tottenham Hotspur, one of England's biggest clubs. Just because of our name, we should go through. That was as poor as Tamworth.
And people are saying it's not even Tamworth, Brian. It's the same kind of attitude and application that I saw in what was supposedly our biggest game at the time in Aston Villa, what was supposedly our biggest game at the time in Liverpool. When the big games come up, these players go hiding every single time.
As I said to you after the Bournemouth game, when the going gets tough, we go hiding.
Yeah.
There's no people with a strong will and mentality to say this is unacceptable. There is no... I don't think there's any game plan. I don't think the players have a clue what they're meant to be doing. That front line were absolutely clueless. I mean, if someone had said to us a few years ago, your front line will be Brennan Johnson, Matthias Tell, who I'm actually thinking of making a that Where's Wally game, or Where's Waldo, as it's called over here, and calling it Where's Matthias. Because, again, he was missing. And like I said when I came on, we're not getting the service to him, but I can't remember him doing anything. Heung-min Son is just off the ball. And one thing that's starting to annoy me with Heung-min Son is we see him take all these brilliant free kicks for South Korea, and how deadly he is when he does that. He's the captain of our football club, and whenever we get a free kick in a dangerous position, he's standing over it, and then a Maddison or someone will go, no, I got it. And he's just like, yeah, okay then.
Yeah, I said that to Amir on the watch along.
He's devastating at free kicks for Korea. And I mean, if anything is to sum up the Spurs season, what in God's name was that free kick routine all about?
Oh my God.
Let's not even get into that.
That summed up the game. That
Mate,
literally summed up the game.
Do you remember the Solanke? I think it was it Solanke and Bentancur that got in each other's way, or was it whoever it was in a game at home recently? I can't remember, but some Bentancur ran into a player. I can't remember who it was. I think Solanke may have been injured by then. But listen, Ange has got to go. Has got to. That was our 18th defeat of the season.
Would you sack him before the second leg?
Do you know what I think? I don't know why, but I thought this afterwards. I think he's going to be there for the second leg. But remember, there's an international break afterwards.
Yeah.
If we don't get a result against Bournemouth, if we don't get through to the next round, if we don't get a result against Fulham, does he have any leg to stand on in that international break? He won't.
Well, the second leg's before that.
That's what I'm saying.
International break. Yeah.
So I think,
I mean, regardless of those league games, if he loses to Alkmaar, if we don't go through in this last 16, surely that's that. He's surely. I just don't understand where this blind faith in him is now. Yes, we want to see a project that comes up, and we wanted to see a project through. I wanted to see a project through. But any other Big Six team that are in this position that we're in right now, that have strong desires to be in the top six or in the top four, they're gone. They are literally gone because this is unacceptable to them. But
Do you know what? As much as we can blame, like when you were reading out my members' chat, I wasn't blaming Levy for this performance. Like I said, once they cross the white line, it's got nothing to do with Levy. The fact that they're still on the pitch and wearing our shirt has everything to do with him. But these players need to take a long, hard look at themselves and be in that changing room now going, what the hell was that? Anja has a big, huge responsibility. But these players, that is one of the most woeful performances I've seen. And remember, we have had 8 days rest. Yeah. And AZ Alkmaar have played 2 games since we played Manchester City.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, the excuses for the last few months have been injuries, fatigue, all that kind of narrative.
Yep.
The players are coming back. Yes, I know Solanke and Van der Ven and Romero didn't start today. But the players on the pitch were more than good enough to win a game of this caliber. Will definitely put up more of a fight than they did. So what are the excuses going to be? I just don't get it.
Well, you know what will happen. One player will roll out and say, we're sorry, we come back stronger, we must improve, we learn, we grow. One of those classic from the catalogue of excuses will come out from the players. How I question their professional pride. I question their fight for the badge. I question, like I've said before, in the 90s when we were really poor, but we were expected to be poor. The one thing I could always say is those players put in a shift.
Yeah.
Those players may not have been good enough to get the job done, but from 1 to 11, they put in a fight. They had pride for the badge, and you couldn't get away from that. I'm struggling to find one player, apart from Vicario, that I could talk about in a positive light.
Go on.
No, Daigle, I want to take it back to something you said. You know, we aim to be a top 6 club. I don't think we're anywhere near.
We're miles off it, mate.
We're miles off being a top 6 club. We're miles off challenging for the top trophies in world football. We're so far off it. And sometimes I think, you know what, maybe I'm even guilty of this myself, Daigle. Maybe I am overrating these bunch of players. Maybe they're just as useless as that performance has shown us.
Well, Joe, I'll say something here. As we've all said, maybe with a better manager or a manager that plays a different brand of football or has a different approach to coaching or his man management skills, maybe they can get a tune out of these players. But once again, the recruitment at this football club leaves everything to be desired. Like, literally leaves everything to be desired because they don't fit the system. They're not doing the job. And you look at it, when we were bringing Matthias Telwin, and before everyone was saying it was a coup, it was, oh my God, we got one of the highest prospects in Europe. We needed a striker that could score goals. We needed a powerhouse that could hold the ball up or find someone that could run onto one-on-ones. We don't supply him. We don't know what he can do. He can't get involved in the game. We needed someone to come in and plug the gap from the goals that Richarlison would get or could bring as a striker. Solanke could bring as a striker. We don't do that. We just got him because he was available on loan. And obviously, if we do pull the trigger on it, we don't have to spend any money. We can just use the Harry Kane deficit. So we're not putting our hands in our pockets. There is just no planning. There is absolutely no planning for this football club, for this team, no matter who the manager is. Go back as far as you want to play the football that the current manager wants. And I'll give you the perfect... You just need to look at our fullbacks that we've signed in recent history. We sign them for managers that play wing backs. Then we get rid of him and play him at fullback. Then we sack the fullback manager and put him back at wing back. There is no planning. There is no desire to achieve success. The culture of this football club is non-existent, apart from just business. There is no accountability. Performances like this, they should be held accountable. Public apologies, and just say this is just totally. There's nothing. They'll be like, go on, we'll get home, have a day's rest, we'll go again Sunday, and people going, yeah, the tie's in our hands. This is a team that has lost to Leicester at home, that has lost to Ipswich at home, that has struggled in Europe at home. May have got the wins, but the performances haven't been great. And people keep saying, we've got our players back, things will be different. We have to take a long, hard look at ourselves and truly evaluate it without your Ange hat on, without your Levy hat on, whether you're in and out on either camp, and have a look at where we are as a football club, because we are nowhere near as good as we think we are. Nowhere near. We're night and day.
I guess, Brian, the only positive to take from it that it wasn't more than 1-0, because it very well could have been, and the tie could have been almost unattainable in the second leg, and at least we do bring them back to Tottenham with only a 1-0, 1-goal deficit when it could have been a lot more.
Yeah, but if I heard right on the commentary as well, AZ Alkmaar now have got like we had. They've got a week off.
Yeah.
Is it a week till we play them, or is it 2 weeks till we play them? Is it next week?
1 week, yeah.
So we've obviously got a home tie against Bournemouth.
Yeah.
They've got now a week off to relax and rest and recuperate. So, yeah, you're right. It's 1-0. Anything can happen. But let's just hope Solanke's injury isn't a big one. Let's just say...
It didn't look good.
Yeah, I know. It didn't look good. But you know, all I will say that is thank God Van de Ven or Romero didn't come on, because God knows what shape they're in.
Yeah.
It's just another... I've gone past... There's a few games I've come on where I've been really angry and shouting and screaming and ranting and raving. I'm past that. I'm past the anger and frustration. I'm beyond the comedic. I'm beyond... This is what we have become. These performances are becoming the norm, unfortunately. And you have people going, oh, yeah, but we only lost by the 1 goal. It done it again. Ange only loses by 1 goal. I don't care. It's still a loss.
Straight out the sim playbook, that one.
Hey, yeah, but we only lost by 1 goal. I'm sorry. Do you get half a point for that? Is that what we're doing now? We only lost by 1 goal, so that's a good thing.
I have never, ever, ever, ever heard that as an excuse used as a positive before.
Oh, I know. But only
before
at Spurs,
this season.
Only at Spurs. Yeah, only at Spurs. Only at Spurs. And obviously now with all our players back, the excuse of injuries has gone. And let's face it, that first 11 should be strong enough to get a job done, or at least put in a decent performance.
Yeah.
And I will say for anyone, the goal that we conceded was a freak goal. Lucas Bergvall was a bit shaken before it, but do you know what I liked about Lucas Bergvall? He didn't shy away from it. He didn't let it go, oh my God, I've made a mistake. I'm going to crawl into a shell now and go missing. He owned it. He tried to get involved, sprayed the ball about a couple of lovely times, tried a bit too hard, but he did not hide away.
If anything, he was trying a bit too hard, wasn't he?
Yeah, maybe in a couple of instances, but the thing I loved about him is he did not let it affect him. He made sure he tried to put in a shift and he didn't hide away. But these kind of performances, unfortunately, have become the norm for Tottenham Hotspur. And unfortunately, we have become a fan base as a whole that will use this. I was only by 1 goal. We've got to look at it. We all love this football club in different ways, but I'm talking purely about the football club and 90 minutes of football. And I don't recognise my Tottenham anymore. I don't recognise what is happening on the pitch, apart from the decline, is happening more and more and more. And you look at this, the great game-changing stadium, by the looks of it, that was meant to get us to the promised land and get us Champions League and bring the Champions League elect players, and pay the Champions League elect wages. Well, by the looks of it, 2 out of the last 3 seasons will be without European football.
Yeah, it's going that way for sure. It is going that way. But Daigle, always a pleasure to have you on.
Always a pleasure. And I look forward to seeing you now in 4 weeks. And I cannot wait to be at the Levy Out Change for Tottenham protest on April the 6th with you all. I cannot wait. And I will see all you guys soon. Have a great evening, guys.
You
Take
too,
care,
mate.
Daigle.
See you later,
See you later,
Daigle.
peeps.
Take care.